Hi, I'm Joy Lawrence. Welcome to my online English class. In this video, I will go over the syllabus and show you how to navigate my course. I'm not going to go over the entire syllabus because I recognize that would be super boring. I do want to hit the highlights though, so let's get started. I'd like to start with the syllabus. Here we are on our course homepage on Canvas, and this picture right here is a picture of the first page of my syllabus. If you click on that, it will open the syllabus for you. These are the course materials that you will need. These two novels, this one, Once I Was You by Maria Hinojosa, and this one, The Human Comedy by William Saroyan. You will need to purchase these two novels in the bookstore, or you can purchase them on Amazon, anywhere else. You're not limited to the bookstore. This book, the textbook, English Composition 1, is a free online resource, so you don't need to purchase anything for this. I have links to it in our Canvas course. I'll post an announcement twice each week. On Fridays, I will post an announcement going over what we'll be doing and covering the following week. On Tuesday, I will post a midweek announcement, and that's just to give you resources, reminders, talk about things that are coming up later in the future, etc., things like that. All of the assignments in the first week are mandatory. I want to skip down now to page 6 of my syllabus, which is where the schedule of assignments starts. These are all of the assignments that are due the first week. Notice that the discussions are broken up into two parts. The first part is the original post that you need to make, and that's on the first date. And then you need to come back in and respond to posts that your peers have done. So on the next day for each discussion, you'll need to come in and do 2 follow-up posts. Now, these discussions are locked down until the Friday before they happen, and the purpose of that is to keep us in as real time as possible to talk about the things that we're reading. Notice that this next week, the second week, has 2 discussions, and that's going to happen in a lot of the weeks. We'll be talking about both Maria Hinojosa's book and William Saroyan's book. So we'll have 2 separate discussions. The first one will be the first 2 days of the week, and the second one will be the second 2 days. I will open up all the discussions for the week on the Friday before they happen. So these 2 discussions will both open on Friday, January 21st. Other than the discussions, the midterm, the final, except for those things, everything else is already open. I'm a person who likes to get ahead, so if you're someone who likes to get ahead too, this is your opportunity. I highly encourage that you get ahead when you can, so that those times when you run out of time, it's okay because you've already gotten ahead. As I said, all of the assignments are listed here on the schedule of assignments, starting on page 6 of this syllabus. You'll see that I also have the points that they're worth, and I'll also have information about them. Like this instructional quiz, I'll give you a little information here about what you're supposed to read in order to take that quiz and be successful on it. Now I'm going to go back to page 2 of the syllabus to continue going over it. Here's a breakdown of how many points are in the course. All of these points and assignments are listed on the syllabus, on the schedule of assignments starting on page 6, but this is an easy way to kind of look at it at a glance here too. In this class, I operate off of points instead of percentages. So if you earn between 900 and 1,000 points at the end of the semester, you will earn an A for this class. If you earn between 800 and 899 points, you'll get a B. 700 to 799 points earns a C, and 600 to 699 points earns a D. So as you're looking at your grade, you'll want to pay attention to the number of points that you have instead of the percentages. So once you earn 900 points, you are guaranteed the A for the class. Not 90%. Don't look at 90% and think once you get to 90%, you've earned an A. It's 900 points. And if that's confusing or if you have any questions, please email me. I don't want this to be confusing. In fact, I go by points because I think it makes sense. It makes sense in my head. I have 1,000 points for the class. And I think that students like to see their grades growing as they go. Please note that all assignments are due by 11:55 p.m. on their due dates. I am not awake at 11:55 p.m. I go to bed early because I get up very early. So if you have any questions or problems, then I recommend that you do your submissions at the same time that I'm having my office hours, so that if you have any questions or you run into any problems, you will have access to me and you can ask me questions and get help. We will write 3 formal essays in this class, and you will have the opportunity to revise the first 2 essays. After I have graded them, you will have 2 weeks to revise them and turn them in for a higher grade. There is a mandatory 300-word reflection due, and in this reflection, I want you to talk about the changes that you've made, why they make your essay better, and why your essay now deserves a higher grade. The purpose of these reflections is to get you thinking about your own writing process. As part of the writing process, we will be having peer reviews. So each time an essay is due, you will have the week before, you will have a peer review. In fact, let's go to the schedule of assignments to look at that because I think it makes more sense. So here we have essay number 2, just for example, due March 7th. You'll see that you have a draft of essay number 2 due February 28th for the peer review. You'll turn this in. It's just a draft of the essay. You don't have to have the complete essay. And you will have some of your peers look at your essay, and you will look at the essays of some of your peers to give feedback as well. You'll have until Thursday to provide the feedback, and then you will take that feedback that has been given to you and use it to revise the essay that you will then turn into me for a grade. So I do not participate in the peer reviews because they're for you, for the peers. I will be grading your essay when you submit it on the due date. And again, you have 2 weeks after I've graded your essay to use the feedback I've given you to revise it for a higher grade. Back to the main syllabus. Please do not plagiarize your essays. I know that it's tempting. I know you run out of time, but it's much better to write your own essay and avoid plagiarism. If you get caught plagiarizing, you will receive a 0 on the assignment the first time it happens. You will not be given a chance to resubmit it. If it is an essay, you will not be allowed to revise it. You will get a 0 on that assignment. Also, I have to report all cases of plagiarism to the Dean of Students because PC is trying to track all cases of plagiarism. So I'd really like to avoid all of that. I'm also using turnitin.com, so please don't plagiarize. I don't accept late work in this class. If you miss the deadline, if you are trying to turn something in on Canvas and it times out and won't accept your assignment because you've missed the deadline, I will not accept it. If you're having problems with Canvas and Canvas is giving you an error message and it is before the deadline, take a screenshot of that error message and email me your assignment. If you email me your assignment and a screenshot of the error message before the deadline, I will accept your assignment. I don't accept late work, and it's not because I'm trying to be cruel. I have 2 main reasons for it. One is to keep me from going insane because I can't keep up with different assignments coming from different students, from different classes, from different points in the semester. Also, I want to keep students on track. If you are sick, for example, and you can't do assignments for a week, I want you to be able to jump right back in and catch back up with us instead of spending the rest of the semester feeling like you're behind and getting caught up. Because I don't allow late work, I have an abundance of extra credit. There's an extra credit module that I will show you in a minute. There's extra credit that I give throughout the semester. Make sure that you pay attention to announcements because sometimes I sneak extra credit in there for those who are reading the announcements. These are the drop deadlines. If you decide that the class is not for you, make sure that you drop in time to receive a refund and not have it appear on your transcript. I count attendance based on students who are participating in the course. If you are participating in the course, turning in assignments, you're participating in the discussions, that is attendance. If you go 2 weeks without submitting anything and without participating in a discussion, I will drop you from the class. If you do not wish to be dropped, then make sure you let me know. Make sure to take a look at that schedule of assignments that I have there And also, there's a page of frequently asked questions at the end. You might have a question that's answered there, so check that out too. Now back to our home page. Notice that you have this Getting Started section here. I have my syllabus that I've already shown you. This is the welcome video. This start button will take you directly to the first page of the first module. And this stack of books here, if you click on that, it will take you to the page about textbooks, and you will find our textbook there, the link to that. When you are looking at this textbook, make sure that you're paying attention to the page numbers on the book itself, these numbers here down in the corner, and not the page number up here that Adobe is showing. Back to our home page. Right here at the top where it says recent announcements, the last 3 announcements that I have posted will be there. You'll also find a link to my office hours here on the home page. There's my Zoom link, and you'll find me there on Mondays and Wednesdays from 10 to noon and Tuesdays from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. On our homepage, I will update this weekly schedule at a glance, and I will also update this module of the week each week so that when you go to click on this, it will take you directly to the first module. There's also some Canvas resources here, an overview, there's a orientation, a tutorial on how to view grades, and also a tutorial for managing notifications in your settings because they can get crazy. So you might not want notifications for everything, and you may not be getting notifications that you do want, so make sure to check that out. Finally, the best way to navigate my course is through the modules. That way you guarantee that you don't miss anything, you don't miss any assignments or quizzes or instructional pages. All of the information builds on each other, so you'll want to start on the first page of each module, which will give you an overview of what's happening in that module along with the deliverables. And you'll want to just click next to go through each of the pages in each module. And lastly, I wanted to point out that extra credit module I told you about. It is between weeks 4 and 5. So here it is. It's the extra credit module. There are 5 extra credit assignments there worth 10 points each. Each of these are TED Talks, and you'll watch the TED Talk and write 500 words on what you thought about it. All of the extra credit assignments in this module are due by April 28th. Well, I think that about covers my syllabus and course navigation. If you have any questions, send me an email so I can answer them. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great semester.